6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. The construction work of the expressway from the New Kalani Bridge to Athuragiriya commences today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Work also begins on 5 new flyovers today. Sri Lanka confirms 2,976 COVID cases yesterday. The Ministry of Health has decided to distribute 50,000 doses each of the Sinopharm vaccine to the Nuwara Eliya, Hambantota, Anuradhapura, Badulla and the Kagalla districts. Special colour-coded stickers to mark essential services vehicles. The police says that steps will be taken to introduce another special sticker for vehicles operating during the traffic restrictions for essential services from today. In news overseas, Colombia unrests President Duque pledges police reform after protest. In sports, Roger Federer withdraws to protect body after knee surgeries. The construction of 5 new flyovers and the 4-lane elevated expressway from the New Kalani Bridge to Athuragiriya as part of easing the traffic congestion in the capital and Kandy will be launched by Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa today. The inauguration ceremony is scheduled to be held with the participation of a limited number of people as per the health regulations in place in view of the pandemic. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa will participate in the ceremony via Zoom technology from the temple trees, a Highways Ministry release said. The Highways Minister Johnston Fernando said that the implementation of the project was a manifestation of the government's commitment to realizing the visions and policies of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's vistas of prosperity and splendor in line with plans for sustainable development. This year's budget made special emphasis on finding solutions for the traffic jams in the main cities, the minister said, adding that as part of easing traffic congestions in Colombo and its suburbs and in Kandy, 5 new flyovers and an elevated expressway from the New Kalani Bridge to Athuragiriya would be constructed. The flyovers would be constructed at the Kohuvala Junction, the Gatame Junction, an overpass near the Slave Island Railway Station to Justice Akbar Mawatha, Uttarananda Mawatha and another flyover connecting 2 overhead bridges. A flyover will be constructed across the Beira Lake and Slave Island to the Baladaksha Mawatha and another connecting Chittampala Megadna Mawatha. Cabinet approval has been granted for these projects. The 4-lane elevated expressway from the New Kalani Bridge to Athuragiriya is planned to reduce the huge traffic congestions created by vehicles coming from the southern expressway to Colombo and those from Battaramulla, Kaduvela and Athuragiriya to Colombo. It is 16.4 kilometers in length and the estimated cost is 134.9 billion rupees. The construction would be completed by the China Harbour Engineering Company in 36 months. The elevated expressway will start from the New Kalani Bridge and run through Kolonnava, Rajagiriya, Buthgamua, Battaramulla, Koswatta, Poturava, Hokandara to the outer circular expressway. There would be interchanges at Orugodavatta, Rajagiriya, Koswatta, Hokandara and at Dematogoda connecting Baseline Road. There would be another interchange linking the elevated expressway to the outer circular expressway at Athuragiriya. The daily COVID-19 cases count hit 2,976 yesterday as 1,055 more people tested positive for the virus in Sri Lanka. The new development brings the total number of confirmed cases of the coronavirus reported in the country to 205,333. As many as 167,304 recoveries and 1,696 deaths have been confirmed in Sri Lanka since the outbreak of the pandemic last year. According to official data, up to 36,333 active cases are currently under medical care at designated hospitals and treatment centres. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Receive early cash advances and an unmatchable bonus at maturity from Sri Lanka Insurance Early Cash.
The Ministry of Health has decided to distribute 50,000 doses each of the Sinopharm vaccine to the Nuwara Eliya, Hambantota, Anuradhapura, Badulla and the Kagalla districts. The Minister of Health, Pavitra Banyarachi, said it was also agreed to distribute 25,000 doses each to the Mathale, Batikalo, Trincomalee, Ampara, Polonnaruwa, Kurunegala, Puttalama and Mondragala districts. Speaking to the media following a discussion with the provincial governors and the health officials pertaining to the vaccination drive, the Health Minister said Sinopharm vaccines have been administered to the residents of the Western Province and the Galla, Matara, Ratnapura and the Jaffna districts since the 8th of May. Minister Vanyarachi noted the second dose of the Sinopharm vaccine must be administered within 4 weeks after receiving the first jab. She added, therefore, the Health Ministry will take steps to provide the second Sinopharm dose at the recommended time. The Sri Lanka Police has announced a colour-coded sticker system to mark essential service personnel as a means to fast-track vehicle checks being carried out at checkpoints at all entry points into Colombo. As such, 11 differently coloured stickers will be used from today to designate the different sectors engaged in the essential services. The stickers will be valid until the end of the travel restriction period, allowing only the number of persons specified in the stickers to travel. Police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana warns that any attempts to alter the passenger information on the stickers will be futile, as the stickers have their own security features. The stickers will be issued after checking the workplace identity card, the national identity card, and the permission letter issued by the respective institutions, the police spokesman notes. The newly introduced colour-coded system is as follows. Green, the health sector. Light blue, the Triforces and police personnel. Purple, the private sector. Light brown, the import and export sector, manufacturing and factories. Yellow, the essential supplies. Red, the essential commodities engaged in delivery services. Orange, the media personnel. White, the people travelling to and from airports. Black, for humane reasons, attending funerals, medical appointments or purchasing medication. Grey, pre-cooked food and other delivery services. Pink, the state sector. The police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that steps will be taken to introduce another special sticker for vehicles operating during the traffic restrictions for essential services from today. He said it applies during the entire period which the travel restrictions are in place. The spokesman said that vehicles entering Colombo for essential services have to provide information at one place and there could be a delay while recording the details. He said this new system has been introduced to prevent any inconvenience to those travelling for essential services. The system is also expected to streamline a procedure for the vehicle movement in and outside the city limits. That's local news.
Finished? You have 1 more hour to write the exam.
Yes, sir. Always early.
Receive early cash advances and an unmatchable bonus at maturity from Sri Lanka Insurance Early Cash.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The country's death toll due to the prevailing inclement weather conditions has increased to 16. 270,912 persons have also been affected by the adverse weather conditions. Meanwhile, the landslide warnings issued to 9 districts have been extended till 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. Accordingly, landslide warnings are in effect in the Colombo, Galla, Kalutara, Gampaha, Kandy, Kagalla, Mathale, Nuwara Eliya and Ratnapura districts. The Deputy Director of the Disaster Management Centre, Pradeep Kodipilli, said the disaster situation has reduced in several areas. He notes, however, over 15,000 persons continue to remain in temporary shelters while relief efforts are ongoing. Mr. Kodipilli added, the water levels of several rivers are also receding.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, Consumers complain of the price hikes on some essential goods at some private sales outlets. Further, there is a price hike observed for vegetables and fruits as well. This has caused immense difficulties to the low-income families. Consumers also complain that certain errant traders are exploiting the situation of the travel restrictions and are increasing the prices at their will. This is for the attention of the Consumer Affairs Authority. That came to you in Watchlight, and now in World News headlines. Colombia unrest, President Duque pledges police reform after protests. David Dushman, last surviving Auschwitz liberator, dies aged 98. COVID in Scotland, army to help vaccine rollout in variant response. Colombian President Ivan Duque has vowed to modernize the country's police and increase oversight of officers. It comes after weeks of street protests and widespread allegations of human rights abuses. More than 60 people have died in clashes with security forces, with at least 3 officers facing murder charges. The violence has sparked international outcry and calls for an independent investigation into the deaths. David Deschman, the last surviving soldier who took part in the liberation of the Nazi death camp at Auschwitz, has died at 98. Deschman, a Jewish Red Army veteran who later became an Olympic fencer, died in Germany on Saturday. As a 21-year-old soldier, he used his tank to mow down the camp's electric fence on the 27th of January 1945, helping to set its prisoners free. About 1.1 million people were murdered at Auschwitz, most of them Jews. The army is to start helping with the vaccination program in NHS Lothian and NHS Lancashire. More than 60 personnel will be deployed in Scotland as part of Operation Rescript for up to 5 weeks. It is part of the UK government's response to variants of concern spreading throughout the country. NHS Lothian has said it would ensure the number of vaccines administered in the area could be scaled up in line with national guidance. And now the main points of the World News segment once again. Colombia unrest, President Duque pledges police reform after protests. David Deschman, last surviving Auschwitz liberator, dies aged 98. COVID in Scotland, army to help vaccine rollout in variant response. That was World News, and now in development news, the Urban Development Authority has implemented 22 development projects in the Gala district. A sum of 24 million rupees will be spent on this project. These development projects are taking place in the Gala town, the Rathkama, Balapitiya and in the Ambalangoda areas. That was development news, and now in sports news. In tennis, Roger Federer has withdrawn from the French Open to protect his body despite reaching the 4th ground. The 20-time Grand Slam champion took the decision the day after a grueling third-round win over Dominic Koepfer. Federer, 39, stressed that after 2 knee surgeries and over a year of rehabilitation, it is important that he listens to his body and makes sure he does not push himself too quickly on the road to recovery. Meanwhile, in cricket, England pace bowler Ollie Robinson has been suspended from international cricket pending an investigation into historical racist and sexist tweets. The posts from 2012 and 2013 were revealed while he was making his England debut during the drawn first test against New Zealand at Lord's. Robinson, 27, has been dropped from the squad for the second test, which begins on Thursday at Edgbaston. He will leave the English camp on Sunday and return to his county, Sussex. That was Sports News.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Lank Epsilon PLC posted a strong Q4 fourth quarter performance of the financial year 2020-2021, recording a pre-tax profit of 229 million rupees against a loss of 185 million rupees as reported in 2019-2020. The company achieved a quarterly revenue of 1 billion rupees, recording a growth of 78% in comparison to the same period as last year. These results were achieved amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, which disrupted markets including global supply chains. These resulted in organizations having to change their strategies, putting a huge strain on operating models. Despite these challenges, the company was able to change their strategies accordingly, ensuring the right product mix was available at the right time to meet seasonal demand.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Colombo port surpassed a physiological barrier of 7,500 levels and increased by 233.9 points WW and closed at 7,516.2, while more liquid S&P SL20 also gained 90.8 points and reached 3,046.5. The average daily turnover during the week came to 2,874.4 million LKR, whilst average daily volume stood at 96,896.7 thousand shares.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says showers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa and the northwestern provinces and in the Galla, Matara, Nuwara Eliya and Kandy districts. Fairly heavy falls above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galla and Matara districts. Thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Uva and eastern provinces during the evening or night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. The general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during the thunder showers. This weather report was issued this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com predicts that Colombo's weather would be generally cloudy during the day. The temperature would be around 29 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. It will rise to 30 degrees Celsius in the afternoon and reduce to 27 degrees Celsius in the evening. Tonight's weather will be around 26 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers with occasional thunderstorms. Showers or thundershowers will occur tomorrow in the afternoon in most parts of the Colombo district.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The construction work of the expressway from the new Kalani Bridge to Athuragiriya commences today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. Work also begins on 5 new flyovers today. Sri Lanka confirms 2,976 COVID cases yesterday. The Ministry of Health has decided to distribute 50,000 doses each of the Sinopharm vaccine to the Nuwara Eliya, Hambantota, Anuradhapura, Badulla and the Kagalla districts. Special colour-coded stickers to mark essential services vehicles. The police says that steps will be taken to introduce another special sticker for vehicles operating during the traffic restrictions for essential services from today. In news overseas, Colombia unrest President Duque pledges police reform after protest. In sports, Roger Federer withdraws to protect body after knee surgeries.